On Nova Legends podcast, I have Herndon 2025 soccer. They won the regional titles. Didn't get a chance to beat their old friends McLean, but they couldn't help that. Herndon Hornets took care of business with an incredible postseason. I'm so glad to see these guys back in the state tournament. I think this is a third straight year you guys are doing that. Guys, congratulations! Thanks for doing this.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
thanks so much for having
Thank
us.
you.
Yep.
No, of course. So let me introduce the guys. First, I got Andrew Tunley. Andrew plays left back. He's played some midfield, I believe, at Herndon over the years. I imagine. Andrew is going to Florida State. I got Bryan Leiva. Bryan plays the right back, and I think Bryan, you've played some midfield as well, haven't you, over the years?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. You and Liche, you guys are built alike. When I'm taking pictures, I always can get you guys confused. Both great players. Brian's going to Randolph, which I believe is in Lynchburg.
Yeah.
My dad's from Bedford, which is nearby. I got Otu Bisong. Otu back on form, just killing him this postseason especially. But it's just so great to have him back. Otu's on the Filipino in the national pool, going to ODU this year. Great to see Otu at this trademark celebration. Everyone's copying you, Otu, so it's not even your celebration anymore. But Otu, good to see you. And then Brennan Mara, who I'm meeting for the first time. Brennan, Herndon gets these big center backs. I don't know where they must just grow them in the area there. So Brendan replaced Brendan and Nikki in that position, and you got two pals back there helping you out. Guys, again, great to see you. Thanks for doing this.
Thank you.
Of
Thank you.
course. Well, first, I want to talk about the penalty shootout at the Westfield game because, I mean, as big as the Wakefield game was, win or lose, you guys are still alive. So it's great to win the regionals, but there's nothing like life. And winning that penalty shootout was great. But I've been asking everybody this that you guys have won a lot of big games in your lives, just with Herndon, but club as well, especially O2, I'm sure. Where did that moment rate when O2 slotted in that penalty and you guys won that game? Where did that rate as one of the biggest moments of your sporting career or your life? Was that up there as a pretty big moment for you guys?
I could go ahead and answer this first. I remember telling the guys like right after the game, immediately I already knew it was definitely right up there with my favorite moments of all time. And I even went ahead and said it was my favorite. Might be some recency bias, but I said it was first just because so our sophomore and junior years, we knew that we were going to be good, especially our junior year. We knew it was state championship or bust. And we went into this season losing 8 or 9 starters, something like that. So we kind of went into this season as a whole in the postseason not really having a lot of expectations. Not necessarily that we weren't going to compete for championships, but we didn't exactly have the standard that the class of 2024 brought to our team. And going into that game, we had played 2 knockout games before against Oakton and Langley. But the difference was that we kind of went into that game knowing that we were the better team. We were going to come in and beat them. And both games we controlled from the first minute to the 80th minute, I'd argue. So the difference was going in with Westfield, we knew they were 14-1. They had beat us earlier in the season. They had beat McLean. They were probably the Northern Region favorites. So that was the first game. I was like, this might be it for my high school career. This might be it for my soccer career as a whole. And I was fully prepared to, at the end of that game, kind of deal with the emotions of not playing soccer after that. So, and especially after we got scored on that first goal right before halftime, it was 1-0 in halftime. We had an hour delay. So going to that locker room, I remember like O2 knows it. I talked about it with him, but I just put in my AirPods and I just like kind of zoned out, and I was just like, I texted O2 and Bilal. I was rethinking my whole life out in that locker room. I was like, this could really be it. And but we brought the energy out second half, especially Manny. I think Manny was the main guy who was like really pushing us. Our coach, all the guys were like, it's 40 minutes for our season, or it's 40 minutes to punch our ticket to states. we brought the energy right off, like right after the rain delay. We scored in the first 3 or 4 minutes, and that really brought us back. And then another part of it was we heard that the Westfield commentator on the big loud the box,
Mhm.
he was giving us updates on the other side of the region. So he was like, on the other side of the region, Wakefield and McLean, they're tied at halftime and they're now going to overtime. And once we heard after that 10 minutes of overtime, right before going to golden goal, um, he said, on the other side of the region, a huge upset. Wakefield beats McLean on penalties
Nobody believed it.
and ended their season. So at that moment, we were all like, hey, we're either going home tonight or we're hosting the region final. And that really brought us up. That brought the energy. Otu had a great chance right in the golden goal that ended up having a huge save, but by the Westfield keeper, but still just huge energy going to that penalty shootout. And when he put that penalty away, it was like I even got emotional a little bit, shedded a few tears just because we could continue our season and fight for a Northern Region Championship and a state ring. So that's why personally it's at least top three of my favorite memories. I could even argue it was my favorite memory of all time.
Yeah. It was 10 minutes of the most exciting minutes of Northern Region soccer probably history with those two games right in a row in penalties, and then the arguably the long shot or the the favorites or the favorites actually losing in both those games, long shots winning. That Westfield team had no weaknesses. I mean, they're a very strong team. You guys are an excellent team as well. I remember last year when um, um, my guy Enzo and Angelo Jello, they told me you guys are going to be great this year, and I was surprised because you guys lost so much, as you said. So those guys are really good, and you guys have so much quality on the team, so it really shouldn't be a surprise. But you got to actually go out there and do it. You guys did it. So anyway, who wants to go next? How does that moment rate among some of your great moments?
I'll go next.
Mhm.
Definitely, I mean, at least top two in my soccer career, just because of, like the atmosphere at Westfield. I mean, they had like everyone there, and then like the rain delay too. We were down at half, and then we came back. Manny scored, and it just erupted in all of us. Like all of us were back, and then we defended for nine, like the whole overtime and everything, and just sitting there at the penalty at like the half field while everyone was taking their penalties. I mean, we were all on our knees, like we were all just like, yeah, it was a great moment. I was talking to Eric. Eric was pumped, and I knew once Manny scored his, and then O2 walking up to that final, I just knew it was going in, and then I mean, just running over there, O2 taking off his shirt, everyone
That
taking
was
off their,
predictable. Everyone knew that. Everyone knew that
yeah.
was coming.
Yeah, I mean that was just, and then all the pictures after coach, everyone's happy, and McLean lost too, so everyone was
Oh,
happy.
yeah,
Yeah,
that's
so it's
great.
definitely top two.
Brian Otu, let's go next.
I'll go next.
Okay.
Uh,
Yeah.
I think it's definitely one of the best moments because beating one of the biggest teams in the region,
Yeah.
it's just a different feeling. And knowing that your competitor, the competitor that you would face in the finals, lost as well,
Yeah.
it was a big confidence booster.
Were you disappointed, Brian, that you weren't going to play McLean?
No, definitely not disappointed.
Yeah. I mean, I just thought it was fate that you guys would play McLean. I really did. I said somehow it's going to be Herndon and McLean because it always is. And I don't
Yeah.
want to shortchange Westfield. Again, they're an amazing team. I think Ethan
Yeah.
is a tremendous striker. They got quality everywhere. They play so hard. They're so physical. But Herndon's a class team. You guys know how to win big games. Oh, two. What about you? You played around the world. This is a penalty. This is what, 12 feet, whatever it is. You slot in. You've won some big games. You beat your shorthanded goal against McLean won the region one year, unbelievably as a sophomore. But where did this one rate some of your big games that you've had?
Yeah, I've had a lot of like really good moments in my soccer career, but honestly, I feel like this is like one of like the best. I mean, other than McLean, I would like the McLean one, but like I say this is like top five, maybe top three. might make top three just because, um, like my whole high school career, especially my sophomore and junior year, I've never beat Westfield. Like freshman year,
Oh, is
I
that
don't know.
right?
Yeah, I don't really count freshman year because like I didn't play like a whole 90, like a whole 80.
Mhm.
But like sophomore year, I just remember scoring and then we were tied and then or we were up 1-0, I'm pretty sure. And then they just come back in 5 minutes. We lose 3-1. Last year, um, so I missed a pen, so it was like 2-1. I had a pen to tie it up and I missed, and then they ended up scoring like a couple minutes later for that.
Uh-huh.
And we ended up losing 3-1 again. So I knew that like this year, like or especially in the beginning of the year, like yeah, I had a pen, but we were like down 3-1 again. So I've lost 3-1 to them like three times in 3 years.
Mhm.
So I knew this like this semis like no, like we're changing this. We gotta change this. Like that locker room, I was exactly like Tunley. Like I was just like sitting there, like I didn't have any music like on. I was just staring at the ground like this is like really like this might be the last game, like my last high school game. But going up to the yeah, like after we heard that Wakefield upsets McLean, like that just sparked like so much energy. Like like I was cramping up like the last like 15 minutes, I believe.
Mhm.
And I was just like, yeah, like we have OT, we have like golden goal if we make it that far. And once we heard that Wakefield upsets McLean, like all that energy just came back to me. I was just like, nah, we're winning this game. We're winning this game. We got to play home, especially for a final. And yeah, so going up to that pen, like I just knew, like you just hear all the fans chatting. Like I was just like, nah, this got to go in. And just like our whole team, like I even saw the polls, like we were like basically the underdogs. I'm pretty sure it was like 65 to like 35.
Yeah.
And just once that pen went in, like I just blacked out. I don't really remember. I just remember taking my shirt off, everything just blacked out. But yeah, that was like I just remember hugging literally everyone on the team. Like I was just so like I knew that we were gonna win it, and like
How
it was
nervous? Oh, too. How
such a
nervous were you when you went up to the ball?
oh no, as soon as I placed it down, like I just like shut everyone off. Like I was like I'm not gonna lie, I was nervous, but I like looked up and I was like, wait, like if I score this, I win. Like and that just like sparked like all the confidence. Like I was literally looking straight at Brady and yeah,
Yeah.
this is
Yeah. How about
just
you, Andrew? How did you feel when you guys must have felt amazing when the first one? I don't know if you missed it or you got a piece of it. It's hard to tell on the video because I don't know if you heard I was trying to commentate on the video, but they wouldn't. The camera wouldn't move, so I couldn't see. But I couldn't tell. But it must have felt great when for you guys when they missed or the first one was saved.
100%.
What's that?
100%.
Oh yeah,
Like,
that took a little bit of the pressure off.
Absolutely.
oh
So
yeah, it took a lot. Yeah, once like I feel like once he saved that, like start sparked like once I saw a blog going up, like he was just so nonchalant. I was like, yeah, he's putting that away. So we're already one up,
Yeah,
and yeah,
yeah,
once we saw they missed the second one, I was like, yeah, like this is done. Like we got this, we got this.
yeah,
Sparked all the confidence in us.
yeah. Well, so Andrew, when's the last you took a penalty against Langley? Have you taken a penalty since,
I
Andrew?
haven't because I got it. I got it saved. So they haven't really been trusting me. I was about to go number 3 in the order, but I remember Rafa Garcia. He told me right before the golden goal. So in between the 10 minutes of overtime and 10 minutes of golden goal, he went up to me. He was like, "Tell coach like I want a pen. I'm really confident. Like I want to take a pen. I want to take a pen." So I was like, "All right, like I'll tell coach." And I ended up not even telling coach, but because I thought the rules were different. So in high school, I found out at the captain's circle meeting, like right before the penalties for the coin flip, they said anyone can take a pen. It doesn't matter if you're on the field, which I wasn't familiar with. I thought you had to be on the field when the game ended for you to take a pen. So when he told me that, I was like, hey, like Rafa really wants this. I'm gonna let him take mine. So that's why he ended up going number 3 instead of me. I love Rafa. He's a good kid. He's really talented. He hasn't been getting the like a crazy amount of playing time just because of the amount of talent on our team. But I mean, almost any other high school, I think he'd definitely start and play all 80 minutes. But we're just so overflowed with talent that he doesn't exactly get the amount of minutes he should. But
I'm not sure that wasn't a goal. I would like to see a replay from the touch line, because that had to be close to going in. And I know it came out, but it had to be close to going in. So
definitely, yeah. So
yeah.
I don't know. He ended up missing it, but we ended up getting him back. I mean, it's not like we were losing after that, so it was even after he missed anyway. So I was like, look, it's not even like we're losing. Everyone does their job after this, and we're still going to take home the dub, and that's what ended up happening.
So anyway, yeah, that's right. So Josh Hyams, the goalie for Langley, he saved your penalty when you guys played, and he's a good kid, he broke his wrist that game. I don't think on the penalty, but another play. So he was out. He was going to be out for the season. Turns out he ended up coming back. Well, he sent me that video to post, and I'm like, Josh, I can't post that. I don't want Andrew to have that video out there in case he has to shoot another penalty. So that's the last thing I want to do is put him on blast. So he's like, well, Mr. Brown, it's just a penalty save. I'm like, well, I don't know. Penalties are psychological. So I didn't. So I never posted that. But I wondered when you walked up whether you had taken one since then. But anyway, I mean that's the game. So let's talk about McLean. Now, it's an unbelievable rivalry between you guys. Last year, they finally broke through. You guys had like a spell over them, and no matter what happened, you guys would always beat them. And then Luke Hamill scored I think it was either one or two man advantage. I mean, you guys were 9 or 10 men when he scored, so it wasn't like it was necessarily a fair fight. But as we know, Otto's great at drawing fouls, and you guys had a man down. Anyway, it was a great rivalry this year. You guys played 2 tough games against them, but they got the best of you in both games. What did it feel like when they were out? Did any of you guys, and I know Brian seemed happy that they were gone, but did the back of your mind, did you feel like you had to go through them to win the title? Was it a little disappointing that they weren't around, or the fact that, I mean, they have 3 or 4 Division I players, the fact that they're out, maybe the road just got a little bit easier. Who was?
I can go. I mean, yes, I was relieved just because we had home advantage, but we did lose 2 times, and I did want to play him one more time.
Yeah.
So, and I remember at the Wakefield game, Joe Margita and Titus were at the game, and after the game, I'll go up to them. They're like, "Bro, this should have been us. We should have
Yeah.
been playing you guys."
Yeah, and they really like you guys. I mean, no one likes them. I mean, I like them, but no one else does. Everyone likes Joe, but the rest of them, some people don't like him so much, but they really do like you guys. I do think, and they play club with the Wakefield kids, but I do think they were. It was hard for them, and they wanted to be part of it. But that's the way it is when you lose in these things, right?
Yeah, I don't want to. I don't want to necessarily say that the rivalry died this year, but I'd say the biggest trash talkers between both teams were definitely from the class of 2024, like Dante and Enzo and Nikki and Brendan. They were the main instigators of all the fights and stuff, or just the times when the ref would have to stop us to separate us. So going into this year, it's not like the rivalry wasn't there. It was definitely still there, and we exchanged a few words, and both games were definitely battles. But I think at the end of the games, we were more hey, it was we kept it on the field, not necessarily bringing the rivalry throughout the entire season.
I will say they seem to have a lot of respect for Herndon. They talk more trash to other teams. They were brutal to Washington Liberty, the way they talk to them. I think they have a level of respect for Herndon that they don't do that, because I think you guys have beaten them so many times, or I don't know what it is. I think they just like you guys a lot. So it's just different. That's one of the reasons. You're right. I mean, I was describing you guys. All the trash talkers are gone. You guys are the nicest guys, and everyone likes you guys. It wasn't the same when I mentioned last year's guys, the Herndon players like Enzo and Brendan. People don't say the amount of sweet things as they say. But anyway, I do think Herndon was a much better team McLean was a much better team this year in that they they brought uh, Will Saxon and whoever's playing left back. Sometimes it was Armand, sometimes it was Liam. They brought them up more towards the center field, to midfield. So I felt like the midfield was more crowded this year, they're able to keep possession better than they did in years past. So I felt their team was a better team this year, even though they ended up losing last year. I thought they just found a way to win. But I thought they were actually better this year. How about you guys? Do you guys think they were better last year or better this year?
Um.
Um,
Oh, you can go. You can go. You
you
can
can
go.
go. You can go.
Oh, Brian,
I
go ahead.
feel.
Or
Yeah. Yeah. Brian, you go. You go.
go ahead,
Brian.
Brian.
I think they were better this year,
Yeah,
definitely. I think they were better tactically more this year than last year. I think this year they moved the ball around more than last year.
yeah, I do too. I think like this year they were really good with the ball, and I think they were. I do. I think last year I felt they have brilliant talent, and they felt, and Dante would. I mean, against you guys, he was the one that got both goals, I believe, or I believe, and at least in the. Oh, Luke got one of them too, but anyway, Otu, what were you gonna say? What were you gonna add?
Um.
Yeah.
From like a tagging like point of view, I feel like last year they were better. Just because like I swear, like every corner or every set piece, it was like me versus Dante. And like this year, I mean, like I could like I'm usually like I usually have like three or like two to three people on me like all the time to like look for the flick. But like last year, it was just like me versus Dante.
Yeah, he always wanted to guard you.
Yeah.
He always wanted to go one on one with you. That was his thing. Yeah, it was a great match. I have a lot of pictures of you guys together because he always wanted to guard you. So yeah. Well, anyway, look, they're behind you, and so now we can move. So let's talk about Coach Steffi. Now, last year, Coach had a very difficult task in filling the shoes of Nick Orzani. Great coach, but a guy who's had so much success, and it's tough to replace a guy who did so well. And then all the players were very experienced players. It's not like you have to hold the hands of these players. Did Coach Steffi change a lot this year? His second year as head coach. I think it was his second year of head coach anywhere. And also, it's 1 year removed from Coach Orzani coaching the team.
Uh, I could go. I think coming into the season from last season, we ended up changing formations at the beginning of the year. So we had that 3-5-2 last year. I think that the huge reason behind playing that was having Nikki and Enzo and Brendan as our back three. I mean, they were like just complete workhorses in the back, and we could definitely trust, especially Brendan as that center back, to do what he needed to do to just lock up everyone. And first team All State. I mean, not much else to say from Brendan, but coming into this year, we ended up starting with the 4-2-3-1 just because, I mean, our entire back line was new to the team. So we had Brennan, Sully, and then Rafa started at right back, and then Brian ended up coming in for him when he got injured. And so I think I was the only one from last year out of our back five who ended up staying on the team. And we just needed to build that trust in our back line. And once we ended up doing that, we ended up struggling early in the season. I think we started 4-4 with our 4-2-3-1, and we ended up having a team dinner. And me especially, but a few of the other guys were like, let's just like try out the 3-5-2. I mean, it's a system we know works from last year. We got Brennan, we got Sully, we got Brian. We ended up having Ben coming in a few games into the season. I mean, like once we built up that trust with our back line, we could really start playing that three back. And once we ended up starting doing that, we ended up winning more and more and more. And I think we're 9-1 since we ended up making that change. So I think that was a major change in building the trust for our back line.
Yeah, it's interesting. It looks from the side more like a five-man back because your wings tend to go back to the back line, but
Yeah,
it's a
so
three
Brian
five.
and I are like, our rule with coach is that if one of us goes up, then the other one stays.
Yeah.
But we definitely have that freedom if we see that space open in front of us to take it forward and like add an extra attacker to our attacking third.
Well, you can't argue with the record. Anyone else want to talk about Coach Steffi? What is his impact in his second year in his coaching style?
I can go.
I'll go.
Sure.
Yeah, I think definitely the biggest thing for him was he came into this year after just having like Brendan, Nikki, and Enzo, and they were basically like the three like big powerhouses back there, and I mean like no one went through them. And then I think at the beginning of this year, like I mean they were big communicators. I mean they were yelling across the field, they were yelling
That's for
on
sure.
the other team. And I think coming into this year, he didn't really see that in any of us, so he tried to like have four in the back so we're all together. And then as the year moved on, I think I like he pulled me over multiple times. Like you have to take that role of like you have to communicate more and use your voice more. And then I think him putting me, Sully, and Ben back there, I mean we kind of just like I mean, it kind of just all meshed together. And then Bryan and Tunley, and then our midfield too. I mean, they struggled at the beginning of the year, but I mean, as we moved to that new formation, they kind of just like Liche and Angel. They kind of both as our sixes. They kind of just like connected with each other, and then they connected with Manny and Otu up top, and it all just worked out.
Yeah, sure did. Yeah. Oh, too, were you gonna say something about Coach Steffi?
Yeah, like his first year, like we were already like we knew what we wanted. Like we all wanted states. Like everyone was locked in. Every single player, like from the starters to the bench players to like people who don't even play. Like everyone wanted to like they wanted states. Every like from day one, our saying was like where do we want to go or what do we want to win? States. How do we get there? We take one game at a time. And like, yeah, everyone just had that mindset. And like Coach Steffi, like he didn't really have to do much. He just had to like put the players where they had to be. And like losing all those starters last year, we had like all our bench players like come in. And we had like a whole like set. I mean, our bench is still like I rate like our bench like really good, like definitely up there. But like there were just some people that were just like, oh like we'll just like win districts like and Coach Steffi like put that like after we were 4-4 he woke like literally every single person on the team like dude like do you guys really want this like and that like really like sparked me. I was like yeah like we can be a class team and he showed every single one of our goals like that we conceded and they were all like mistakes like they weren't like stuff like oh yeah they outplayed us like they're a better team like he showed us that like we're like a class team but we gotta care like we gotta put the effort in. And like after that McLean game, like going 9-1, like that just shows like how much of an impact he had like for our team. So
Yeah, he sure did. I mean, I think everyone knew you guys were going to be dangerous, but you actually have to actually do it and put it together. And you guys,
mm.
that little change made a big difference. Brian, what about you? How's your relationship with Coach Steffi, and how do you view his impact on the team?
My relationship with him is good. I think when he came in last year, like Otu said, like we already knew what we wanted, so we just put the players into like their positions. And starting this year, when all of them left, all the starters left, filling the gaps in, like Brennan, Ben, me, in the midfield and the forward, getting Manny, he was coming in new because last year he didn't play. I think
Yeah,
he's had a big impact, but I think Coach and Manny have had a few words. They've bickered a little bit because Manny's a little,
Manny has a few words to everybody, doesn't
yeah, Manny's a little bit too energized sometimes.
he?
But having Coach around, it really like it. What's the word? Stabil,
Yeah,
stabil,
he stabilized. He
stabilizes
was.
him. Yeah,
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
and yeah, he just knows. He just knows what we want, and he helps us. He's
yeah.
a really good coach.
He's got a real strong, calm influence. Well, Brian brings up Manny. Manny's a guy, I mean, you already have O2. Here's a guy no one's ever seen before, at least in high school. People know him from club. And you throw him in the mix this year, you're like, how could they have him and O2? So where did Manny come from? And all of a sudden you have another striker of that quality. That must, I mean, where did Manny, where have he been? And how did you guys all of a sudden show up with another guy like that?
Tunley, you got that.
Okay, yeah. All right. So starting last year, he ended up missing, I think, the first day or two of tryouts because of a club tournament. So he ended up coming like to one of the last tryout days, and he ended up like getting put on JV as a sophomore, and then after that he had a dispute with his physical. He didn't have a physical in, and then he got put on JV, something like that. So he ended up just like not playing. Like if you're gonna put me on JV, I'm just not gonna play. Like just that's kind of just how Manny is. He's got that cockiness to him. So going into this year, I knew that like if we wanted to compete, we lost Jello, we lost Lucho, we lost like a good part of our team in our attack. So we would need Manny to help out Otu up there, just not have Otu on an island, just not have Otu play hero ball. And so I actually ended up paying for his physical so I remember like Manny, like I remember getting on everyone as early as November, December. I was like, "Are you playing high school this year? Like, how are your grades? Keep your grades up. Make sure you're passing your 5 classes. Get your physicals in." And so I ended up paying for Manny's physical in December. I got him out to a few of the green days, and then after that, Manny, like he's got the cockiness behind him, and he definitely pulled up to the tryouts and the green days and the early practices with that behind him. But once you get him to play with passion and not emotion, he definitely started to settle in and be our leading scorer this year.
Yeah, I mean it's pretty ridiculous to have. That's just a great front line. Then your midfielders got guys that can score from midfield as well. So it's just it was great. Anyone else want to add anything about Manny? Oh, too, you guys connect quite well together.
Yeah, I mean, having Manny is just like I look like sophomore year, like playing with Lucho, like I see how it feels. Like sophomore year, like me and Lucho were like we were just green. Like we knew we were like each other were like we just knew where we were like like anywhere on the field. And like playing with Manny, like you can literally just like slip him a through ball, he'll get there. Like
Yeah,
he has the pace, he has the fitness, like he's known for like beating players one on one. And yeah, so but yeah, I kind of miss playing Lucho. Like that's my green link, Lucho.
exactly. Yeah, Lucha. Do you think Manny's enjoyed his high school experience? You think he's been
Oh, 100%.
oh good. Oh, good. Well, let's talk about your midfield a little bit. Now, you lose Lucho, who went to JMU early, and Lucho, very high work rate, and scored goals, made assists. He just did a little bit of everything. This year, your midfield, very talented guys, very quiet guys. You have Eric, you have Liche, you have Angel. I think did a tremendous job. All three of these guys did a tremendous job. And then you bring in Bilal off the bench. He can play one of the strikers or in the midfield. Just a great midfield. Talk about your midfield a little bit. The guys who didn't play it that much last year or at all.
Oh, I'll take this one. Definitely, yeah, we lost that like Lucho like workforce in the middle. I mean, we have Eric. Eric like first half of the season would walk around basically, and then to bring back like the Jordan thing, I mean, he would. There was a clip in film where he filmed Eric, and it was like 30 seconds of him walking around in the midfield, and he was just like, that's not acceptable anymore. And I mean, Angel's really taken the captain part of the midfield. I mean, he kind of, I mean, yeah, even though they're quiet, I mean, you hear him sometime. He's yelling at everyone. I mean, and then Liche, I mean, him at 6, I mean, he's able to connect around players, play forward, get in the gaps, and I mean, yeah, our midfield is just tactically, I think, very strong.
You were a long ball team last year. This year, you've got technical players in midfield. You guys can play either way. Last year with
Yeah.
Brendan, Nikki, that ball was going long, almost, if there was any doubt in the final third, the ball was being kicked. You guys can play real ticky-tacky if you want to this year.
Yeah, we definitely can.
Yeah, yeah.
I could also add to this. I think that when Lucho went down in that Lewis game in the state quarters,
Mm,
like that was our leader in the midfield, and honestly throughout the whole team as well, one of our leaders. So even with that injury at 0-0, 10 to 20 minutes into the game of a state quarterfinal on the road with like up to like 1,000 Lewis fans yelling at us, I think Angel and then Wendell, actually our starting 6, was also on a red card. So we were
that's
losing
right.
two of our starting midfielders in that game. Liche, as a sophomore, stepped in and played a hell of a game that game. Angel played all 80 minutes that game as well and played a phenomenal game. And just everyone who stepped into that role definitely played a huge part in beating Lewis in that state quarterfinals. So going into this year, I knew that if they played, that they were going to be like we were going to be fine without Lucha, without Wendell. So I think also a big part is that they're all juniors, and Angel and Eric and Manny, they all play on the same club team at NVA. And then Liche is like great friends with them too. So they definitely have a connection there as well. So just coming into this year, we definitely knew that we had that talent on the team last year and just another year of experience behind them from last year that they were going to ball out this year.
Yeah, it's great. Yeah, it's great midfield. Well, let's talk a little bit. First of all, that Lewis win was incredible last year. I think Nikki and Brennan got the goals, I believe.
Yeah.
You guys showed so much heart to hang in there. I mean, that tackle was unfortunate, but you guys never lost your focus and you won that game. Huge win. It got you a game against Cosby.
Yeah.
That game was crazy, and you guys might have heard my interview with Enzo and Jello. That team was intense. They were fast. What are you guys' memories of that Cosby? I know you got there late and everything. What are you guys' memories of that Cosby game?
I can start. I think that their front three were really fast. I'm pretty sure they play I think two of them play on VCU.
Yeah, the Hayes brothers, and also another guy, the midfielder does too. Yeah.
Yeah, the front three, they were really quick.
Yeah.
On the break, if you sent them a long ball, they would beat our defense.
Yeah.
They were just quick. So I think that's how they got one of their goals. I think they sent a long ball and Enzo just couldn't catch up and they just scored.
I also felt they put your back line under a lot of pressure. I mean, their pressing was really intense.
High press, yeah.
Yeah, if I can remember. How about anyone else? Any pleasant memories or any memories at all from the Cosby game?
I can go.
Yeah. You got it.
All right. So, like individually, just like talking about me, I remember I was the one who put in an own goal for their first goal off a long throw. And then, so that was like a huge kind of just like a horrific memory for me. And then I was also I lost it off of I think it was a corner or an Enzo long throw, and it spilled out to me in the midfield, and I ended up losing it. They go they counterattack, and then they score on us again. And then I get put back in the second half, and then I get a yellow card for like a bad tackle. So I think that game, just like my performance and how bad it was, it kind of just like made me play with a chip on my shoulder this year. And I was like, I want to go into this year and be like, just like kind of redeem myself for that, just like on a personal level for that game.
Yeah. Well, yeah, that's, you learn more from losses than wins, unfortunately. Otu, I remember that game. You hit the post in the second half, and I felt like if you could have gotten that in somehow, if it would have just gone in, that may have changed the momentum some. Do you remember that play?
I'm not gonna lie, I don't really remember like much about the game.
Yeah. Yeah.
I just remember it was just really hot.
It's
and like
hot.
coming back from like an injury, like I came back Oakton quarterfinals, I believe.
Mhm.
And like I just remember that game, like I remember doing like 2 sprints, I was just done. Like I was just gas. It was just not a good memory.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, look, you got to the state quarterfinals, state semifinals. That's an achievement. In addition, you won districts last year, so still a good year. This year, you're coming in. We talked a little bit about how the lineup changed, and after 8 or 9, by midseason, after midseason, you guys were great this year. You got to the district tournament. You had to beat Langley. They just don't match up well with you guys, and you guys were able to get by them pretty easily. I thought you played a good game against McLean in the district finals. I mean, Luke Hamill's goal. I mean, Luke does that sometimes, but I thought the game against McLean, the district final, I think you lost 2-0. I thought you guys played a good game, and I think that game could have gone. I'm not saying it could have gone either way, but I thought you guys had your chances to take control of that game.
Yep.
Yeah. Anybody have any memories from that McLean game?
Yeah, I definitely have one. I mean, going into that McLean game, like just standing there when they calling out the names and we're like they're doing the anthem. I mean, I was like my heart was pounding out of my chest. And I mean, it's just because like you're playing McLean, the district final. There's so many memories and like so many like beef between us. I remember every time Sully would do a long throw, a corner kick. I remember Connor Bowe would always like line up against me and like the ball hasn't even been kicked. He's already pushing me. You have Titus talking to O2. You have like three players on O2. And I mean just going in, I mean they're trash talking. Titus is yelling across the field. So I just like remember I mean they're just very like highly like I just remember that game being highly intense.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what Herndon and McLean is. It's highly intense. Uh, I think 30 years from now, you guys will still remember that rivalry. It's very
Yeah.
special. Well,
We played
well,
like
good.
or I guess 4 finals against each other, and we split them 2-2. So
Yeah.
I guess no one can really say that they won either side.
No, no, but you guys are still alive, and they're
That's true.
not. This is the
That's true.
You guys are the last one standing. I want to talk about the Oakton game. I didn't see that game, but on paper, that was going to be a very tough game. And Oakton had played unbelievably the last part of the season, but then they had a 3-0 lead against Westfield in the last game of the regular season. If they win that game or tie it, they win the district. They lose that game somehow, and then they lose to Chantilly in the first round of the district tournament. So all of a sudden, their seeding drops. So they went from being one of the hottest teams in the area to really kind of probably playing without confidence a little bit. It's not nice to go into the postseason, losing games. What was the Oakton game like? I didn't see that game, but it looked like on paper, and I heard from Mr. Radomski, you guys won the game pretty easily.
Yeah, so I think our coach put it pretty well, Coach Steffey. He said, we kind of started off the season slow, and we really picked up and hit our peak at the end of the season going into the playoffs. And they were kind of the opposite. They started very well. Like they mercy ruled Marshall or something like that. They scored like 6 or 7 goals a game in like 4 different games, something like that. But then that Westfield loss, selling a 3-0 lead in the district deciding game, that can have like a huge impact on a team.
Yeah.
And so in the game itself, I remember Bryan scored in the 4th minute, I think, and we were definitely moving the ball pretty well. We knew the stakes coming out of that McLean loss. We knew like, hey, like it's win or go home now, like no matter what. So I think we really controlled the game from the 1st minute to 8th minute. Besides, we let in a goal at the end, but by then it was already 3-0. So they picked up a goal at the end, but I think we really definitely controlled that game very not easily, but it was easy because we did the right things.
When I saw that result, that's when I knew Herndon was back. I knew you guys all year long. I've been telling everyone don't leave out Herndon. They're one of the you guys have lost some games, so I couldn't rate you high in the top 7. But I knew talent wise that at the end of the year because you defend well and you got 2 dangerous strikers. I mean, what more do you need? I mean, you defend well. So anyway, that was a very nice win. Anyone else want to talk about the Oakton win?
I can go. Yeah, after Brian bagged that like goal, like the first 5 minutes, like we kind of like we dropped, but we were
Yeah.
like still doing like the right things like defensively. So like it was just we could build, but it was like it wasn't like top, like it wasn't the best we could do. And in second half, I knew or after like we put like the second goal in, like we just started like balling, like we just knew it was our game.
Yeah.
And yeah, they had John Popolski, my goat.
Yeah.
Yeah, and, like he was actually doing pretty good first half. And then yeah, I mean like he's a pretty good player, but like I just knew like if I press him, like I can get that second goal.
You
And
got
yeah,
it.
uh,
Brian, it must have felt good to get that goal.
Yeah, it did.
first goal of the season.
Oh,
Yeah,
is it? Is it
yeah,
first? Oh man, you got your first goal in knockout.
yeah.
Yeah, that was O2. You got the assist, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's how'd you get that far up into the attack, Brian?
I think I like won the ball in the middle, and I just dribbled it up and found Otu open, and he just played me back. and I had
Wow.
to fight off a defender. I don't know who it was, but I think I was like almost falling by then. I just
Yeah.
picked it, just hit it.
You never sent me the video. Did you ever get the video of that?
Nah,
NFH
I
just
never
didn't
got
get
it.
I
I never
know.
got it, bro. Never.
NFH is such a T. What's
The
that?
camera's always facing the other,
I
the
know.
other way. I don't know why.
The rain
NFHS
makes
is
it
such a
bug out
tease
too.
sometimes. What's that,
He's
Andrew?
like the rain makes like the automatic camera bug out. That's probably why.
I think yeah, it's
Yeah.
weird, and so the other day I was trying to get I wanted to watch the fight at the Lewis Robinson game. So I was trying to in NFHS. I don't know what it keys on the ball or something. I don't know what it keys
Yeah.
on, but it was the fight confused it, so it kept moving instead of so you couldn't really see what the heck was going on. I mean, I was at the game, but I was able to figure out what was going on.
Yeah, they robbed us off like Manny's goal from Westfield too. It was
Yeah,
a really big goal.
yeah, I never saw that too. So I was in the parking lot and I was like, this game's getting canceled. So my son wanted to go eat pizzas. So when I got home, I couldn't believe when it was back on. I did watch the overtime. And I didn't even know McLean was playing. I thought that game was going to be canceled. But anyway, you get by Oakton, huge win. Brendan, did you want to say anything about the Oakton game or?
Um, yeah, I would say some. I mean, definitely the game plan going into the game was we saw like Michael Radomski, like he was like their big threat up top, and Coach Jordan basically he kind of just said like if we defend well on him, if we're on his touch every time he touches the ball, and like we limited his touches, it should be like we should win this game. And I mean that's what he did. I mean, he still scored one against us, but
Yeah.
I mean he's a great player, but we were just able to defend well against him.
Yeah.
Um,
That's a big win. Someone else?
Adding a little bit on that,
Yeah.
I think Oakland's tactics were just to find the striker because
Yeah.
every time the wingers got the ball, they would always try to look like immediately for the striker. And from the back, they would only hit it up. They wouldn't play through the middle. They would just try to find what's his
Michael Adamski.
yeah, they would always try to find him just an open space. And they caught us off just for a second and he scored. So
But generally they were telegraphing their play. You could tell where
Yeah.
they're going every time.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And you guys, when you play your formation with three center backs and the two backs deep, that's going to be a hard way to score. But anyway, well, that was an awesome win. You got the win against Westfield, which we talked about. The Wakefield game, Wakefield's interesting because those guys have been playing varsity for 4 years. My son played against all of them his senior year, and very talented bunch of kids, class team. They haven't had the easiest time scoring goals. I think they only scored 24, 25 as a team all year. I think Manny probably has that many himself. And O2 is probably not too far away as well. So they do struggle to score goals, but a class team. Tell me about the Wakefield game.
So going into the region final, we knew, I think the biggest thing for me was just playing in front of all my friends. And the whole week before, we had 6 days to prepare. And I ended up having like my grad party that Saturday. So I was just telling everyone there, I was like, yo, like pull up to our game. Like it's the region final. We're going to get a huge crowd. And just when that first whistle blew, just seeing that amount of fans just in front of you, that just kind of flipped the switch. And I was just like, yo, like we have to win at this point. We had already played them earlier in the season and then in the district semis. And I think our defense just like kind of really shut them off. As you said, like they've barely scored above like a goal a game. So I think like personally, I was like, I think the worst case scenario is we go 0-0 and we go to pens, kind of similar to McLean. Just the way that they defend in their like defensive formation, we kind of watched film on them, and coach was like, they play like a 4-3-2-1 in the defensive third. So we were like, I think we were both kind of very defensive teams going into that game. So once Manny got that first goal in the first 20 minutes, I was like, this is our game to win after that. We were like, we know how to defend them. They haven't had a great, like really any scoring opportunities in this game or the district semis. So I think once we learned how to defend them, especially in that district semis, was definitely a learning experience of how to defend them. Going into the game on Thursday, we're like, we know how to defend them. We bag a goal or two and we're set.
Yeah. And that's exactly what happened. Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. And it's funny. I really like the Wakefield team. Very good team. And I'm so happy that they're in the state. I mean, I like the McLean guys too, but I'm very happy that that team finally got the success they deserve because they're a great bunch and they've been together for a long time. And Coach Eddie's a great guy. Anyone else want to mention the Wakefield game?
I can go.
Yeah.
Yeah, going or when they were like announcing like the names, like I was talking with like Liche and like Angel. I was just like, bro, I'm so nervous because once you turn around, it's just the whole like stadium's just packed with like people. And we haven't played in like a atmosphere like that, especially at home, like since like sophomore year region finals. And like I kind of forgot that feeling. And once that like final whistle blew, or not final, like the beginning, like once the first whistle blew, like all those nerves just like went out. It's just like, yeah, like this is like definitely our game. This is definitely a game to win.
Yeah.
And I just remember the first game we played, Wakefield, they scored like a game winner on us. And leading up to district finals or semis, we were just like, yeah, like this is not happening again. Like, and especially like the first game, I was injured as well. Like I played like 15 minutes,
Mm.
but the semis, like the first half, like I'm not gonna lie, they had us. Like they were building out the back pretty well. They were they had like pretty good chances, but once like Tunley like put the ball like in the net, like it was just our game. Like we had all the passion. They were like started crumbling. We had more energy at that point. And the final, region final, we just wanted to like the one thing we wanted to do was just break their like break the way like they build out the back because we knew they were good at building out the back. So we just wanted to once we knew how to stop that, like it was our game to win,
Yeah.
and that's what we did.
Exactly right.
Yeah, I'll kind of add on to that really quick. So
Yeah.
that district semis, like what I meant by like we kind of figure out how to defend them is that like their system with their midfielders is um they play a very interesting system where they like to keep it in the back, and then I'm pretty sure there's like their midfielders will like get very wide and like have their heels on the touch line. And so what was happening is that Bryan and I were getting caught very high, like going to them, and then they'd play a ball over the top and get our center backs kind of to the corners and just like disconnecting our back line that way. And I think midway through that first half, like they had all the opportunities in that district semifinal. And once we kind of at halftime learned how to defend that with our midfielders, with Leach and Angel, that they were the ones to kind of like stay with their midfielders and go all the way to the touch line to defend that, and just let Bryan and I stay back and stay connected with our five back. After that, we're like, there's no way they're scoring on us, and that's kind of the mentality we went into the region final with.
Yeah. Yeah. And they didn't score. Brian or Brennan, want to talk about the Wakefield game at all?
Yeah, I mean, I could go. Basically, I went into that game. I mean, we played them twice earlier. I mean, they played a great system, but like I kind of like didn't like it because I mean they kept the ball for 20 minutes when we first played them, and they were just passing around the back. We were all running all over the place. I mean, going into this regional final, I mean, we had a lot of film over it on how like Otu, Manny, Eric should press, and I mean, it just completely worked out. And for us in the back, like we're both like both teams are very defensive. So we was like whoever could score first like wins this game. And then like because once Manny scored that, all we knew we had to defend, and then Manny scored again, and I just knew that like all we had to do was just keep them to a clean sheet and we would win. That's what
Yeah.
happened.
So, yeah. Yeah. Brian, what about you? What was your perspective?
Yeah, the second time we played them, the district semifinals, I remember the game started, and I think it was literally the first like 10 seconds. They sent a long ball to their winger, and Brennan, I think, got a handball. I think, but,
Controversial.
but yeah, the first 15 minutes they had us cornered. I think they had us really mostly in our 30,
Yeah.
like in our just our half. We couldn't find a way to break the pressure. And I remember during halftime, coach was angry. I remember he was really mad, and he gave us like a speech, and I think it kind of motivated us to come out stronger the second half, because second half we had more opportunities, more chances.
Yeah.
And when Andrew scored, I think right off the kickoff, Manny won the ball because they tried to play it back, and Manny just ran and he won it. And I thought it was going to be 2-0, but the keeper made a great save.
Yeah. It ended up 2-0. It ended up 2-0 though, right? No.
No.
Oh, it was
Yeah.
1-0
Yeah.
final?
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember making fun of Manny after that game because he had two 1v keeper situations and both of them got saved. But
Yeah.
Oh, that was the first. You're talking about the first game, Brian. The second
Yeah,
game
the
was
first
two. The
second
second game was
game
2-0. Yeah.
yeah. So I guess Manny got his revenge for getting clean sheeted himself for the
Yeah.
second game. So he put two away.
So do you guys give? I mean, Robinson's playing really well right now. They are really playing well. They beat Lewis. Lewis is a really excellent team, and then they beat West Potomac as well. Do you guys give Wakefield any chance to upset Robinson?
I think
I
they could
mean,
definitely.
oh, sorry.
I think they could definitely.
You think so?
Yeah, I think they could. I think they could win.
I think Robinson is a very set piece based team. I feel like every goal that they post is from a corner. So I think Wakefield matches up pretty well with that, especially if I think who's the guy who went out, the tall midfielder Cole Glazier, I think.
Oh yeah, Cole Glazer. Yeah.
He ended up leaving our game early, but I think if he's in that game to defend their set pieces, I think Wakefield, the 3 times we played them this season, they defended our set pieces very well, and I think that's a very strong suit for Robinson. So I think if they can defend Robinson's corners and their set pieces, they definitely have a shot.
Yeah. Anybody else want to handicap? You guys are one of the few teams that played both Wakefield and Robinson.
Yeah. I feel like if they can upset McLean, I'm pretty sure they can upset anyone.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. So you say they're in the game.
Yeah, they're in the game 100%.
Yeah. Anyone else want to? Brennan, you want to say anything about that or?
Yeah, I think Wakefield can 100% beat them. I mean, yeah, watching the Robinson game, every time like they post online, it's like always like a free kick. I think Anthony
Chong, yeah.
Yeah, he's always scoring a free kick. And I mean, we played them. I mean, they scored on us off a corner kick. I mean, they defend really well. I mean, they have Anthony up top. I mean, he's fast. But I think the Wakefield side, I mean, they definitely compare well to them, especially with their long throw. I forgot the Wakefield kid who has a long throw. I think it's
Like Vike.
It's Vike.
Yeah, he has that effortless long throw that, I mean, and then once I think Wakefield puts a goal in, I think they just defend well. I mean, it'll be a good game.
Yeah. I think the 3 best defensive teams in the area are you guys, Robinson, and McLean. I think you guys all defend extremely well. It's hard to score on all those 3 teams, but there's other ones too. But those are the 3 that come to mind to me. So okay, well that's great. Let's think about West Potomac. Do you guys know anything about West Potomac?
No, only that one of their players scored like 6 goals.
Yeah.
That's the only thing I really know about them.
Yeah.
They're very intense. They're small. They have only one guy of any kind of size. The other center back is short, but he's really good. What's his name? Jack, good player. They have like 9 or 10 little guys that are all technical. They're tenacious. They're very well coached. The coach is a former MLS Next coach for Alexandria, CJ. I don't know if you guys know CJ. So I think it's a good matchup for you guys, but it's also a good matchup in that you guys are very different. So it's going to be an interesting game. I definitely will be there on Tuesday. So I don't want to look beyond that game because I know you guys got to win that game first. But I would like to ask you, what would it mean to you guys to road trip to Richmond one more time? Would it be a nice way to end your high school? Brendan's got one more. Maybe he can do it 3 in a row. But would it be a nice way to end your guys' high school career?
Yeah, it definitely would. It'd be very nice. We thought it'd be at Virginia Beach. So
that would be even nicer.
I think we got a little bit more hype that we thought it was going to be near the beach.
Yeah.
But
You're not that lucky.
Yeah, because I remember Bilal texted me. He was like, "Bro, no way! I just found out we're going to Richmond, not Virginia Beach." And
Yeah.
I told him, I was like, "Dude, are you serious?" He's like, "Yeah." He was like, "So what's even the point to keep playing?"
Well, you can go visit Bilal in college next year, Brian, or maybe you guys can play them and you can travel.
Yeah, he's
travel.
going.
Yeah,
He's going to college like in Virginia Beach or like near that
yeah,
area. So
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah. Well, back to the question. I think that just from last year, even though we didn't get the result against Cosby, just like the whole experience was very fun, and like will definitely be one of my favorite memories. Just going on the bus the day before and staying in the hotel with your entire team, and just like knowing that you have that game the next day that could put you into the final. It was just a great experience, and both last year and the year before, and I feel like especially this year, just the feeling with like having your entire community behind you. Like Herndon Youth Soccer is reposting a bunch of our stuff on Instagram, telling everyone to come. We got all the sports teams at Herndon, letting us use their equipment and just wishing us good luck, saying congratulations for winning the region. Just like that feeling with having your whole community behind you and just seeing them show out at the games and having that huge crowd is just like it's definitely very special, and it feels like we're very honored.
Yeah. Well, you guys are. You deserve it. It's not easy to do what you guys have done, and that over and over again is even better. Uh, yeah, anybody else want to talk about Richmond, Brennan, and Brian?
Yeah, I mean, I went down there with the team last year. I mean, I was definitely not expecting to play, but I mean, still going down there, rooming with a bunch of your friends. I mean, the late night gas station, getting snacks and
Yeah.
everything. And then, I mean, coming down this year, I mean, yeah, we'll be with everyone. I mean, it'll just be such a fun experience. And then I mean, I don't miss how hot it was because the locker room had no AC, so it was just kind of
yeah,
like we're just baking in there.
Yeah, I guess it's probably summertime. The school's probably closed. I'll tell you though, there's no big favorites that are left. Cosby is not supposed to be that strong this year, even though they're back in. They graduated 9 or 10 players, and I think the Prince William teams are strong, but I think it's a very winnable. If you guys, I mean, look, we had Tuesday. Wakefield's a great team, and I love those guys too. But I think any team that survives from Northern Virginia's got a big shot this year. Oh, two. What about you? Are you excited to? Would you be excited for one more trip to Richmond?
Yeah, 100%. Especially having a really good shot at winning the state. Like I just remember being in the gym, like in our school, and just seeing that one banner, like the state banner. Like the last time we won was like 1984.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Wow.
yeah.
Barry Johnson was on that team. Yeah.
Really? Well,
Yeah. I was 84 at Robinson. So
yeah. Just being able to like Brendan said, going to or using like a fancy bus and just traveling down with all your friends and teammates and just being able to uh compete for like a ring. Like I'll always remember that and just feel having that feeling that um yeah, you're just with your friends for like the last couple of weeks
yeah.
competing for a ring.
As good as that region felt, state would feel even that much
Yeah.
better. All right,
Mhm.
guys, let's end. I want to talk about a little bit about your decisions on the next level. And Brendan, why don't we start with you? You can talk about what do you think Herndon's going to be like next year?
I think next year, I mean, we'll definitely lose a lot of a lot of talent. I mean, we'll lose Bryan, Tunley, and Otu, but I mean, we won't be like we'll still have Manny, Angel, Liche. We'll still have our midfield. Um, but if I think Jordan is planning to stay. I think if he stays, we'll be in the same boat of districts and everything because I mean, yeah, I mean, Herndon will always be strong. I mean, yeah.
I also think you got your young goalie is going to be 1 year older,
Oh
Zen.
yeah.
That's going to be
Yeah.
helpful. Brendan, do you want to play college soccer one day, or you just want to go to college to study?
Yeah, that's the plan to play college soccer. Actually, I just went on a visit to York College for soccer
Yeah.
before this interview, so that was fun.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
know
so
some
that
kids on that team that played with my son. Well, I met your dad at the first Wakefield game. Nice guy. So great season, Brendan. Great first varsity season. Well, who wants to go next? Andrew, you're going to Florida State. I assume you're not playing soccer, but tell us about going to Florida State. I'm sure you got to be excited.
I definitely am. So in my application process, I applied to a bunch of Florida schools because my mom is she's exploring retiring there the next upcoming years. So she really likes the Naples area. So in my application process, I applied to like six or seven different Florida schools, and so once I settled on Florida State, majoring in biology, I love my AP biology class in school. I take anatomy too. I love both those classes. So I think that was a major part of choosing Florida State. The out of state tuition in Florida is literally like the best state in the country for it as well. So it's very affordable too. I think my sister goes to UVA now, and her in-state tuition is going to be like the same as my out-of-state tuition, which is unbelievable. So I think that was the major factors behind me choosing Florida State. I think um, I'll definitely either play intramural or club there just to stay with the sport. My mom wants me to try to walk on, which I mean, why not, right? But
Yeah, why not?
definitely have a few choices behind continuing playing soccer there.
Yeah. My son got into officiating soccer and basketball at UVA, and he's now kind of the head guy. He's been doing it for all three. I recommended he do that because that's how I got started in refereeing basketball. And I did it for high school for 20 years after I got out of college. So, that's another thing you can think about if you don't end up playing. But you're a really good player, Andrew. Let's see how it goes. Bryan, Bryan, you're going to Randolph. Tell us about your decision to go to
Yeah.
Randolph.
So I remember Wendell last year. He told me he was like he really wanted me to go play at Randolph, and I was like, really? I was like, I'll see how it goes. And I remember the Randolph coach. He came to one of our games at Jeff Cup,
Mhm.
and he came up to me and he started talking to me, and yeah, from there it was kind of
Yeah.
decision made.
Yeah. So there's a kid at Falls Church going there.
Yeah,
Brad McCall,
Brad, yeah,
very nice player. He's a center back. So yeah, hopefully you'll know some folks down there. And it's a real pretty area. It's kind
yeah,
of it's kind of country. It's not like Herndon, but the guys that I know that are down there, they love it. So hopefully you have good luck and you've had a great career, and hopefully you guys can continue to do well. Um,
yeah.
Otu, now you've had quite a journey, and you're going to Old Dominion with your friend Michael Deslin. I saw you hug him after dispatching Westfield in the penalty shootout the other day. So why don't you talk about your decision to go to Old Dominion?
Yeah, I feel ODU is like such a really good has a really good atmosphere, especially like on this athletic side. Coach Derek and Coach I forgot, but Coach
I'll edit that.
that coaching staff's just amazing. I love every single one of them, and yeah, I just saw like the recruiting class because I remember I decommitted from UVA because I wasn't in school for like the first half of like I think like the first like month or two because I was at the Philippines and my grades weren't looking too good and like yeah they I had to like they had to let me go because like it wasn't looking too good and I ended up like texting like a few or I had like a few options which was like it was JMU, ODU, and NC State and but like literally as soon as like I decommitted, um, ODU was just like, "Oh, you're always welcome. Like you could come over for like one more visit. Like we'd love to have you." And I ended up going on that visit, and it just felt like home. Like they showed me all like the new updates they're gonna have in like their locker rooms and stuff, and it just all around like it just felt like home. So I ended up like committing there and seeing like our recruiting class for 25. We're having Nelly, Michael Deslin, like you said. Jeremy's coming next season, and we have like a lot more. I don't know if you know Nino. He's
Yeah.
he's also in our recruiting. Oh my God, recruiting class. So yeah, we're looking really
Nelly
solid for
from
next
Lewis
season.
is going too?
Yeah,
Wow, God, you guys got some nice players going.
Crazy, right?
yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
And one other thing was like, which was like a deal breaker for me, or not deal breaker, but like
Deal
it just
maker.
got me. Yeah, it just like um, it just attract like it just wanted me. It just made me want to go. It's just like I was talking with Coach Derek, and he was just like, "Yeah, if you want to play on this team, like doesn't matter if you're a freshman or senior, like if you work hard, like you're gonna get playing time." And I really want to get playing time, especially my freshman year, get that experience, that college experience. So yeah, that just made me like want to go.
That's awesome. I just interviewed Old Dominion goalkeeper last week. She loves it. She went to Alexandria City and she's just having a great time. So I have no doubt you guys will as well. Well, guys, look, I want to thank you guys. People ask me often, why do I spend so much time with high school soccer? And watching you guys play over the last 3 or 4 years, the McLean games, it's so much joy to watch and be involved. And I'm not a player or a coach, but I know the kids, and it just means so much to me to watch because I just enjoy it so much. You guys like you are the reason why I do this. It's just so much fun to watch you develop. You're all good kids, always very thankful. So I really appreciate what you guys have done. I'm so happy you guys are advancing. The Westfield guys are great. I don't want to mean to say that I'm choosing you guys, but the fact that you guys advance, I'm happy that you're advancing. And but I want to give you a chance to shout out someone on your way out, maybe a coach or family member or another one of your teammates. But just here's your chance to give a shout out, on the way out.
Yeah, who wants to go first?
I'll shout out
Oh.
Sully Watt. Sully Watt.
Yeah.
He was playing track. So he was injured our sophomore year, then he's playing track junior year. And I was like, if we need a good defense, we're gonna need Sully on the team. So I convinced him to stop playing track and get on the soccer team. And he's been a huge factor in our defense, giving up like less than a goal a game. So
Sully and Manny, Andrew, you're that's like 20% of the team production there.
Yeah. And I would like to shout out Manny, because I used to play with him like when we were like just beginning playing soccer. And I mean, we've gone to the field like before, like during winter break, and I mean, he's pushed me to like play, and I pushed him to play high school. I mean, he was kind of iffy about it, and then Tunley paid for his physical. So yeah, I would give a shout out to Manny.
Once you play high school soccer, there's nothing like it. Everyone's
Yeah.
like, it's kickball. It's not as good. I mean, the quality might not always be there. It's cold in March, but once you get to the playoffs, there's nothing like high
Yeah.
school soccer.
Now Manny loves it. So
Yeah, there's nothing like it. Yeah. That's great. That's great, Brennan, and great to meet you. Bryan, you want to go next?
I'm shouting out Andy Hercules.
Yeah.
I've known him my whole life since we were young. We used to live in the same neighborhood. We used to both go outside, kick the ball around. He used to play for me. Well, not for me. He used to play my team for a year or two, and then he left. I don't know where he went, but he suddenly came back. So, yeah, he's been really good for our team. He comes off the bench and he works.
Yeah. I want to tell you, Andy had one of the most important goals of the year. That tie against Washington and Liberty was important for you guys. Andy got one of the goals that brought you back into that game. So Andy's he's a deceptive looking player. When you see him, you're like, oh, little guy, but he gets it done. So that's a good one. Otu, what about you?
I'd like to shout out Ben Mead. Beginning of the season, he wasn't getting like the minutes he wanted, and like he was like deciding on like quitting, but he ended up like putting his head down, like working hard, and he like balled out that Langley game when we won 3-0, and he started every single game ever since, and like I just really respect all that. Put all that with him.
It just shows you in life, right? When you quit, nothing good ever happens when you quit, right? So you gotta be out in the storm to get hit by lightning. So anyway, guys, again, this has been great. Enjoyed talking to you guys, getting to know you better. I wish you luck. You got a big game on Tuesday. West Potomac is a nice team, so it's going to be a great matchup. But what do you expect? You're in the state playoffs. This is why you're here. So anyway, guys, this has been great. Appreciate you doing this, and I'll see you on Tuesday.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mr. Brown.
All right,
Thank you
guys,
for
this has been
inviting
great.
us.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Take care now. Yeah.